Greetings and welcome to today's video, which explores the exciting world of the film The Beekeeper. This movie has a unique mix of action and mystery. It follows the mysterious former beekeeper Adam Clay, portrayed by Jason Statham, as he makes his way through a maze of corruption and deceit, leaving a trail of devastation in his wake. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe. The movie opens with Adam Clay living a quiet life as a beekeeper. He rents a space in a garage owned by a retired schoolteacher named Eloise Parker. Clay removes a hornet's nest from Eloise's garage and thanks her for putting up with him and his bees. He also acknowledges Eloise as the only person who ever really took care of him. Eloise invites him for supper. While Clay takes care of the hornets and tend to his bees, Eloise goes on her laptop, which is hit by a virus warning. She calls the number shown on the screen, which links her to a call center operated by a phishing scam operation called United Data Group. The head of the center, Mickey Garnett, gathers his team to listen in as he talks to Eloise. He tricks her into installing a supposed antivirus software. It links to all of her bank accounts, worth over $2 million, majority of which belongs to a charity organization she manages, and they proceed to drain all of those accounts. Eloise realizes too late what has happened and is left in despair while the scammers gleefully celebrate their deception. Clay later goes to Eloise's house as she invited him over for dinner, and he brings her a jar of honey. He finds the door open and enters to investigate with a knife and finds a loaded pistol and discharged bullet on the floor. At that moment, Eloise's daughter, FBI agent Verona Parker, arrives, finding her mother dead with a gunshot wound to her head. Believing Clay murdered her mother, Verona has him arrested. She later finds Eloise's laptop and sees the empty accounts. Clay is released, but it is later concluded that Eloise tragically committed suicide. Verona apologizes to Clay and learns that he was close with her mother before her death. She reveals to Clay she got scammed, that's why she committed suicide. Clay leaves saying he needs to take care of the hive. Retired Clay contacts his old organization, the Beekeepers, to get info on the people who scammed Eloise. He is directed to the call center for UDG, where he shows up with 2 gas containers. The guards tell him to leave before they count to 3. Clay counts to 3 and beats up the guards. Clay arrives at the reception and informs other companies should evacuate because there will be a fire. He asks them to stop their operation. When they don't listen, he beats a guy senseless to convince the other scammers that he is not playing around, which gets them to evacuate. Then he starts pouring gas all over the place. Garnett shows up and tries to have security deal with Clay, but he wipes the floor with them before dousing the place with gas and then linking a bomb to blow up the call center when someone contacts next time, seeing their scam ads. The place is blown to bits seconds later. Scared Garnett calls his boss Derek Danforth of Danforth Enterprises to inform him of what Clay did. Danforth informs former CIA Director Wallace Westwild, who is currently running security for Danforth Enterprises, but he says he can't help with this. Derek informs Garnett to find who did it by checking last few scams they have done, and take a team of goons with him and finish Clay. It's Verona's day off, and she gets a call from her partner Matt Wiley to investigate the arson at UDG. She reaches there and finds out that some 40-year-old guy came in and did this. Meanwhile, Garnett reaches Eloise's places with the goons and find Clay. They follow him into his garage, but Clay gets the drop on them and kills them one by one, leaving only Garnett alive, severing his fingers with a bandsaw and then throwing him into the back of a pickup truck. While Verona is questioning one of the guys from the call center, Matt informs that her mother's house is on fire. They find the dead goons with UDG ID on them, hinting Clay is somehow behind all of this. Garnett manages to escape on a car and calls Danforth while stopped at a bridge, informing him that Clay is a beekeeper. Having followed Garnett, Clay finds him. Then he straps Garnett to the wheel of his truck while he is on the phone with Danforth, who overhears everything as Clay sends the truck with Garnett into the river. Clay then warns Danforth that he is coming after him. To find out who Clay is, Derek goes to Wallace. He is running security for Danforth Enterprises at the request of Derek's mother, Jessica. After learning Clay is a former beekeeper, Wallace realizes they are in danger and tells Derek he just pissed off the wrong type of guy. Wallace contacts Derek's mother, Jessica Danforth, who begs Wallace to protect her son. He then calls CIA Director Janet Howard over Clay's involvement. Janet contacts the Beekeepers and learns that Clay has retired from the organization. Now the Beekeepers themselves will take care of the situation. Meanwhile, FBI recovers Garnett's body from the river, but Verona and Wiley can't find Clay on any database. Clay is at a gas station when he is found by his current replacement, Beekeeper, Anisette. She attempts to ram her car into Clay before firing her gun at him. After he fights back, Anisette takes out a huge machine gun and fires at Clay, but misses every shot. He throws a jar of honey at her and then sets her on fire, killing her and then cutting off her index finger and keeping it. Also, in the process, blowing off the gas station. Janet then informs Wallace of Anisette's death, and the Beekeepers choose to remain neutral as the situation unfolds. Meanwhile, Verona and Wiley continue their investigation on the recent events, and Verona starts to piece together Clay's involvement. They figure out he is headed to Boston. Wallace gathers a team of Special Forces guys and explains to them the threat that the Beekeepers pose, as they are called in to rectify corrupt acts around the world. He warns them what Clay may be up to and dispatches them to go after him. Clay goes to a Beekeeper's base, gets in using Anisette's finger, and finds the address for 9 Star United Center in Boston, which oversees all of Derek's global scam call centers. He gears up and heads out to take care of them. After informing FBI Deputy Director Prigg that Clay is a beekeeper, Verona and Wiley receive all the support they asked for, and they head to the 9 Star building, but Wallace's team is already there. They head inside and the FBI's team stays outside. Clay arrives there, beats up the FBI guys, before infiltrating the call center. The head of the mercenary team, Pettis, orders the call center employees to evacuate in anticipation of Clay's arrival. But Derek informs him over the phone the operation can't stop. Clay reaches there and informs everyone to leave. Pettis's guys spot him and they start shooting at Clay. Clay escapes from there and then knocks them out one by one, including Pettis. After killing a bunch of guys in an elevator, Clay interrogates the manager of the center by jamming staples into his hands and face until he gives up Derek's identity. Verona reaches the floor using the stairs with the FBI team and tries to talk Clay out of his vendetta, but he is adamant in finishing the job. Wiley manages to get to Clay, but he manages to leave the place. Verona and Wiley then find evidence of Derek being the ringleader of this operation. After Wallace learns that Clay got away again, he suggests to Derek that he stay with his mother for protection. Derek calls her Jessica Danforth, President of USA, since she has Secret Service taking care of her. Derek goes to Jessica's beachside mansion. Meanwhile, Verona and Wiley debrief with Prigg. They explain that the UDG, 9 Star United, was using a data mining software to target people's money. The software was made by Danforth Enterprise, founded and operated by Jessica Danforth. She recently stepped down as she became president. They come to the conclusion that she has bankrolled her campaign funding using stolen money. That is the reason Clay is going after Jessica as a queenslayer. After learning this, Prigg gives them blank check to do whatever it takes to stop Clay. The FBI and other people gather at the mansion as a party goes on. Wallace and Derek meet a man, Lazarus, who previously had an encounter with a beekeeper and managed to kill one, but lost his leg in the encounter. They have hired Lazarus's team of mercs. Clay reaches entrance of the mansion and hides under a truck, then takes out an agent and sneaks inside the compound, posing as Secret Service. He then proceeds to plant explosives all over the place and enters the building, changing his attire. Verona spots Clay inside and she notifies everyone. Everyone moves to catch Clay before he reaches the president. Verona and Wiley, plus Lazarus, catch Clay outside. Lazarus is about to kill him, but he creates a distraction by setting off a bomb. Clay fights off more goons as he makes his way inside the mansion. He manages to take out Secret Service agents inside the mansion, then heads upstairs, fighting his way through multiple other Secret Service agent and mercenaries. He and Lazarus engage in a brutal fight, and Clay gets stabbed. But he manages to gain the upper hand and stabs Lazarus to death. Wallace talks to Clay to persuade him to turn away at the last moment, but fails. While this goes on, Derek and Jessica sit in a room with Prig, who asks him about UDG and Nine Star United. Jessica learns the truth about Derek's exploitation of a CIA program during her presidential campaign. As it turns out, Derek had funded all of Jessica's campaign with the stolen money, and the revelation brings her guilt. Jessica decides that when Clay approaches, she will tell him and the world the truth. Enraged Derek kills Prig as they wait for Clay to show up. Clay blows up the door and makes his way into Jessica and Derek's room. Verona and Wiley also enter, trying to stop Clay from killing Jessica. Meanwhile, Derek has taken his mother hostage, and he is about to kill her. But Clay fires a shot into Derek's head first, before jumping out the window. The Secret Service come to get Jessica out, while she wails at the sight of Derek's corpse. Verona almost considers bringing Clay in, but then allows him to escape, seeing as how justice for her mother and other victims has been served. As the other agents try to find Clay, he flees with the aid of the underwater gear he had hidden on the beach. A single bee flies over the water as he disappears. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notification so you can watch more videos like this. Hey, thanks for watching.